I want to read y'all some of this stuff right here. This is called a time sheet. It's usually one page long, but I've been doing it a while. I'm going to read some of the stuff to y'all that I feel like the Lord got me through.
This is a praise report.
I guess we could call it that. I'm going to start off down here, man. This is a disciplinary report right here. I was charged with creating a security or safety or health hazard. And let's see what the date. That was on 11/27/2006. 6/26/2006. I was charged with under the influence of alcohol and or narcotics. 4/23/2002. I was charged with possession of contraband. 4/25/2000. Under the influence of alcohol or narcotics. 12/8/1998. Violation of institutional rules. I don't know what that was. This right here, 5/14/1997. I was charged for under the influence of alcohol or narcotics. 10/9/1990. Under the influence of alcohol and or narcotics. 10/9/1990. Possession of unauthorized, unprescribed drugs. 4/14/1989. Under the influence of alcohol and or narcotics. 4/12/1989. Possession of unprescribed, unauthorized drugs. 12/1/1987, possession of contraband. 3/5/1987, bribery or attempt to bribe. Imagine that. Y'all wonder what I was doing there? I was trying to buy a disciplinary off of me. Dude wrote me up for that. Instead of getting one, I left there with 3. It backfired that time. They would do that, you know. But this guy that's happening into, I ain't gonna keep you long. I'm gonna just read you just a little bit more. Inmate convicted on 7/14/1983 for escape 2. Inmate convicted on 4/19/1990 for escape 2. Inmate convicted on 2/10/1997 for escape 3. Inmate convicted on 3/25/1998 for escape 2. I'm going to go down this and then I'll be through. All right, we got right here is theft of property. Sentenced 2 years. Right here we got a burglary 3. I was sentenced 15 years. Theft of property. I was sentenced 15 years. Escape 2. I was sentenced 40 years. Burglary 3. I was sentenced 40 years. Theft of property 2. I was sentenced 40 years. Burglary 3. I was sentenced 20 years. Theft of property 2. I was sentenced to 20 years. Received and stolen property 2. I was sentenced to 20 years. What in the world is theft of property 2? I was sentenced to 20 years. Yeah, I know it. Wait a minute, I'm just about through, y'all. I'm gonna keep it on. Theft of property 2, I was sentenced to 20 years. Burglary 3, I was sentenced to 20 years. Burglary 3, I was sentenced to 20 years. Escaped 3. I was sentenced to 20 years. And escaped 2. I was sentenced to 20 years. And promoting prison contraband. That was a hacksaw blade. They give me 20 years on that one. And I got one more right here. Another promoting prison contraband. I was sentenced to 20 years. I had 2 cases in Georgia where I got 20 years. But I counted these up one day just for the fun of it. And since I've been going to jail, I was sentenced to 437 years. I was classified as a nonviolent property offender with a very high escape security level. I was a nonviolent person. They had me classed as a nonviolent person. But since I kept on sawing on their jails and everything, they always sent me to the higher level camps. You know, I didn't get to go to a lot of the lesser security places because of my escape history. But God got me through all this. I used to walk and pray to myself. All day I'd be walking. I'd get out on the yard and walk by myself and pray. And God heard me. And He saved me.
That's right.
But I'm delivered from this stuff. I'm cashing in. I'm done with it. I talked to I got a buddy now that's locked back up, and he calls me, you know. He told me, man, it ain't like it was when we was here. It's done changed. Of course, we was always well respected and everything because we had been there for so long. Everybody liked us and respected us. That's a big deal, man, respect. And usually people that's been locked up for a long period of time has got issues with that. I got them bad. I'm going, you know, it's almost like demanding respect. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, man? Because if you ain't got that, you ain't got nothing. And when you get somewhere where all you got is your word, you need to have a good name. Because, and I told my brother, man, he's locked up now, and the first time he ever got locked up. I got a 12 number, AIS number. I got it issued to me in 1979, and you keep that same number the rest of your life. So I got a 12 number, and I don't know what they're up to. What's your number is?
31, and everybody passed that now.
Yeah. But anyway, man, you know, if it hadn't been for God, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have made this happen. I got 20 years in Georgia, and I was at St. Clair at the time, and they took me over and sentenced me to them 20 years and brought me back. And I actually done my Georgia time in Alabama. I paroled it before I ever even came up in Alabama. I think I was doing a 30-year sentence then. But they called me up there and gave me a parole, and there was an old black sergeant, and he said, man, I ain't ever gave nobody no parole papers before and not let them go. So I didn't get to leave. But I did make parole from Georgia. But anyway, man, God caused me to get through this and that. Right there. And I love all y'all, man. And we through with this right here. We through with this. I've never been out as long as I'm out now.
You can use it to knock the devil in the head.
I paroled a 30-year sentence one time and stayed out 90 days and went right back with a 40. And I had to call my mom and tell her, and she just squalled. Man, it broke my heart. But that's what the drugs will do to you. Drugs is because of all of this right here. All of this is because chasing that dope. But I ain't, you know, I read them cases off to you because I wanted y'all to know I wasn't no violent person. I mean, I got my respect and everything, but as far as having cases like that, or drug cases, or sex cases, I ain't had none of that. I just stole a lot of stuff. They didn't appreciate it too much. Hey, when we had an attorney general in Alabama at the time, his name was Charlie Braddock.
He's back. He's back. Charles Braddock.
Yeah, well, I sure hate it.
He ain't let nobody go.
Because he put in mandatory sentencing. And he copied Texas. It's kind of like the 3-strike law. I was way past 3 strikes. I was about 15. But anyway, he put that in, man, and it just flooded the prison system. They ain't got nowhere to put them no more. It was mandatory if you got a Class C felony. If you was convicted of a Class C felony, which all these are, you could get 15 to 99 or life. If you was convicted of a Class B felony and took it to court and found guilty, it was mandatory that you get a life sentence. And if you was guilty of a felony, it was mandatory that you got life without parole. And there was a lot of guys that, and I'm talking about, there's some good people, because y'all met some of them at my wedding. Yeah. And some of them's come up here and talked for out of the pew, life without parole. Yeah. He's income and now running halfway houses, doing good. Yeah. But then, you know, if a person does drugs, that don't make him a bad person. It just makes him, he's a person that made some mistakes. And should we condemn them for life? Man, that's what they was trying to do. And it just don't work. They locked me up, give me all that time, 30 years, and at the time it cost $11,000 to house a man in the Alabama Department of Corrections. A little over $11,000 a year. And they gave me 40 years for a stereo system. It probably cost $300. And they give me 40 years for it. It just don't add up, man. I mean, it was real bad. And by the time they realized they had made a mistake, it done got out of hand. And guys are starting to get them cases off of them now, you know. But I just wanted to share that with you, because if it hadn't been for God, I wouldn't have done this. I probably got killed in there. I already didn't have no sense. But I had the attitude of not caring. And there was a lot of people that had that attitude. Man, you got guys that's got life without parole. They don't care about nothing. You know, that's right. That's exactly right. And to make it through that, man, you know, I've seen a bunch of them get killed. There's been 2 here recently that got killed. One of them was that boy we was talking about. What was his name?
Robert's nephew?
Yeah.
Jason?
What was his name?
Jason Reed?
Yeah. There was another one, I can't think of his name. But I talked to my buddy the other night, and he told me, man, it ain't like it was. He said, somebody's getting stabbed every day. So, and that's what it is. And you got, you know, I don't want to sound racist or nothing, so just trying to tell a story here. But you got them black officers, and half of them's gang members, hates white men, and they let that stuff go on. They moved me in a dorm at West Jefferson that housed 98 people. It was me and 2 more whites, and the rest of them was black. And one of the whites, not me, was a homosexual. But I said that to say this, that's what kind of people that you have to deal with. You know, I ain't got nothing against them people. If that's what they want to do, that's their business. I'm just saying, there wasn't nothing there but me and this other guy, because you can't count the other guy because he affiliated with that. He had him, he had him a prison husband, which was black. So I didn't even consider him white. I mean, I'm sorry to say that, but I didn't. Ain't no need me standing up there lying. And at the time they put me in there, man, that's when all that stuff was going on. Y'all remember in Birmingham when they was rocking the news vans and everything, tearing stuff up and hollering, kill Whitey? That's where I was at. And I sure was glad God was there.
That's right. Praise the Lord. Good job, Kenny.
I want to say this, right close to where Gina was reading from in 1 John chapter 5, verse 4. Victory over the world, for whatever is born of God overcomes the world, and this is the victory that has overcome the world, our faith. Who is he who overcomes the world but he who believes that Jesus is the Son of God?
On one of them times that Kenneth escaped, it was in 1990, he showed up at my back door knocking. I was expecting my son that's about 33 now, I think, Jesse. That's why I know it was 1990, because I had about a 2-year-old in my hip, and the rest of it was here. And all we had was telephones. You know, I didn't have a phone, too poor, I guess. Had to walk down to the corner with her on my hip and this big belly to get on the phone to call and say, Kenneth just showed up at my door. And about gave me a heart attack because I knew he escaped. His brother had put the hacksaw in the shampoo bottle, and he sawed his way out of the Tyler jail, knocking on my door. I thought, I'm going to jail for harboring a fugitive, me pregnant and host baby on the hip.
Because, you know, he brought me that saw blade. You know that saying they got, if your head fit through it, you can get through it? That's a lie. Because he actually came up there the next day and told me, man, I thought you was coming. I said, well, I got that bar sawed out right there. I can't get through the hole. He said, that bar ain't sawed. And the way they had them welded, I could take that toilet paper that they had